Another hour, someone will say that it's what they would have wanted best. It's for the best, isn't it always for the best? Don't shed a tear, be of good cheer, for the rest of us are here. Mary went cycling to visit the rest of us. When she stopped coming round, I went over. Her family folded and packed up her bicycle, and now all that is hers is all stowed in a box. So they are gone, life still goes on. You should have known that all along, but I don't care, it's so unfair. Life is so unfair. That's the tune. There you go. How about that?
That was
Played really.
beautiful.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. I played a little bit fast, but I'm still getting emerging. Thank you. Yeah, it's a sad song, and it sets the tone for all of the rest of the songs I've ever recorded and written ever. They're all really miserable. Actually, kind of jolly major chord music with really grim, miserable lyrics underneath. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is, I must say that I'm going to point this out kind of early on. This is very odd, doing ostensibly a gig to a screen of me looking back at myself. It's weird, and I know this sounds a bit egomaniacal, but no applause. so thanks very much, Katrina, for saying something nice.
Do you want me to clap?
No, don't clap, please don't. That'd
No.
be weird. But I have done gigs to less applause than this, so I am quite used to it.
When you do those kind of gigs, if I play a crowd that's not really into it, at the end of it, I just want to say, "Are you not entertained?"
Indeed. Are you not entertained?
But it's okay.
Yes. The answer would be no. We're not entertained. No, of course they're entertained. Let's play another tune. I haven't done a gig in a really long time, so I'm working off notes. So
You just did one like a month ago.
Yeah, but it works off notes. Yeah, that's a really long time. You do one every couple of days, but okay. So I told you I rambled. That's the right key. Okay. That's it. This is a song called "What Do You Get," and it is the origin of the song is a joke, which somebody told me once. In fact, I know who told me. My friend and former bandmate Mary Hampton, who was the singer in my own band Imitation Electric Piano, and she's an amazing singer. She's a real folky. She's a brilliant voice, and we wrote a bunch of songs together. And so we wrote this song. She told me a joke. It's a very funny joke. The joke is, what do you get if you play a country and western record backwards? You get your wife back, you get your car back, and you get your dog back. So we turned that into a lyric. So I wrote the song.
Facts, though.
It's called "What Do You Get?" And it's got a nice moody intro. Hopefully I'll be able to pull off. When I met you, thought you were the one. Wish I could forget your lying eyes now that you're gone. I should have known that you break my heart. You played your hand so well, right from the what do you get if you play this song backwards? You don't get the devil, you get your house back, you get your car back, you get your wife back. I let you in. You cheated and lied. You put me down, 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 and swept me aside. You stolen my reason. You put me through hell. The job is worth doing. It's worth doing. What do you get if you play the song backwards? You don't get the devil. You get your house back. You get your car back. You get your wife back. What do you get if you play the song backwards? You don't get the devil. You get your house back. You get your dog back. You get your life back.
My lighter was there.
All right.
Thank you very much.
That was the funniest thing I've ever heard you do. That was amazing.
That's a good. I like that tune. It makes me laugh.
I love it. I love it. I sing one bit of a country song, and only because I like the twist ending at the end.
Sing it. Sing it. Sing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Good to see you, baby. It's been a long, long while. We're both a whole lot older, seen a lot of miles, but things are really different now since the good old days. And you've been in some trouble since we went our separate ways. We'll have to say hello maybe some other time instead, 'cause you're wanted by the police. My wife thinks you're dead.
That's great.
That's a Junior Brown song.
Junior Brown. I don't think I know Junior Brown.
Oh, he plays a really interesting guitar. It's like a double bass.
Oh, okay. That is interesting. This old town filled with sin. We know now the country song. This old town filled with sin. It will swallow you in. How's that go? Oh, it's a quick country number. This old town filled with sin. It'll swallow you in if you don't believe anymore. Take it home right away. You've got 3 years to pay. Satan, Satan. No, I can't do it. I used to know that song off by heart, but I don't know anymore. Maybe I'll play it later. Shall I play another one of my own numbers? That's what people are here for. They don't want to hear
I love that idea.
All right. What else we got? Let's see, another one. Another old one. There we go. This is a good one. This is a song about. This has got a very long story with no ending. I suppose the ending is the ending of mankind. So that's the ending of the story. So just fast forward to the climate catastrophe, and then that's your end. Me and my girlfriend at the time and a couple of friends went to visit a place in England, which is an amazing place. It's a really desolate part of North Kent, which is the sort of, if you imagine where London is, Kent is the sort of the buttock that comes off the bottom of of the UK, and on the North Kent coast is very beautiful. It's a place called Dungeness, and it's like a sort of sandy, stony beach with dunes and stuff. And there's a film director called Derek Jarman. He's dead now. He did a couple of great films, lots of great films. One of which was Caravaggio, which was fantastic film. Jubilee. He bought a fishing shack and lived there in this kind of barren wasteland. It was very beautiful in a very kind of weird garden full of strange objects. It was very famous. You could go and visit it. And there's fishing sheds and stuff. And right in the middle of it is a huge, great concrete block, which is a nuclear power station. So we went to visit this nuclear power station, and it was the most alarming, terrifying, hilarious experience I've had in any power station I've ever been in. So this is the song about it, and it's called Energy is Beautiful. Okay, hopefully I can pull it off. It didn't go too well last time I played it. Here we go. Let's do that. Here we go. Reactor A is closed today. His pen leaks and his name tag fell away. His leaflet covers all we've seen. Anyway, what did he say? Energy is beautiful. As we watch him turn a dial, energy is beautiful. Have you ever seen the sky look so grey? The master is sustaining, look how he turns. Everybody watches and learns. There's cracks appearing in the wall. Attention is waning, drifting away. Drifting away. Each other's hair, we neck space dust, drop H's everywhere, till home time kicks the swing doors in. Anyway, evacuate, it's another quiet night over England's concrete hills. What a funny way to spend everybody else's favourite years. I totally didn't forget the words. I remembered all the words because the words are like in the second verse it's so it's, yeah.
That's a really good Bob Dylan impression.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
No.
And I didn't forget any of the chords. All the chords were meant to sound like completely random and badly played and in the wrong place. So that was perfect rendition.
Unfortunately, it sounded really good. You made this mark there. I don't know.
I could have got away with it if it wasn't for you damn kids. Yeah, it's a good. I like. It's a nice tune. It's got a really nice. I was quite pleased when I wrote this bit. So a D minor. And then it goes and then it goes D diminished. How cool is that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Then it goes. That's the chord I was looking for. And then it goes. Yeah, so that's that. That's the old songs. Oh, I've got a couple more. I could do it. Shall I do another song?
Please.
All right. This one is another one with a really miserable story attached to it. All my songs have got stories, and I think the stories are often... That's
the hallmark of a great track, though, don't you think?
That's very kind. They're often more compelling than the actual songs themselves. This is called I Mean Wow. Let's get the right key. That will be D. D minor, the saddest of all keys, according to Nigel Tufnell from Spinal Tap. It's called Lick My Love Pump. No, this is a song. I was doing a bit of mid-afternoon drinking, and I decided to go home, where I lived in Brighton, where I lived for about 15, 16 years. Excuse me. And It was daylight. That's an important detail. It was daylight, and I was walking through the car park of a huge, great block of flats right in the middle of the city, a real carbuncle. And as I was walking through the car park, which is underneath the set of block of flats, there was a heap of blankets on the ground in the middle of the car park, and I didn't really pay much attention initially. And as I got closer to it, I realised that there was a woman police officer stood over the blanket, looking at me, and I couldn't work out why she was looking. She was guarding this heap of blankets, and then it became obvious that underneath the heap of blankets, it was a person who'd fallen off the balcony of their flat, whilst apparently hanging out laundry on their balcony to dry. So they tumbled off the chair that they were stood on and plummeted, tens of feet or meters to their death. And so what struck me was that the policewoman, rather than telling me to turn back and go the way I came, because an ambulance was coming and because it was a potential crime scene, she just had this amazing look of deep sorrow, and she was really sad, and also trying to comfort me that you'll be all right, just keep going and it'll be fine. It was very strange look. So I went home and I wrote this song pretty much straight away, and it's about it's about lots of things, but it's another theme of the song is about belief and disbelief in a creator God. Not that I do believe in a creator God, but it was an interesting kind of hanger to hook the song on. And then the chorus is goodbye abstract, hello concrete. So as he splattered on a concrete. So goodbye cruel, well, cheerio. So there you go. This is the song, and it goes a little bit like this. I mean, well, here you are. Took a while to get around to you. I mean, well, I found you. Had to burrow through the undergrowth. Goodbye, abstract. Hello, concrete. Goodbye, cruel world. Cheerio, is that you? You are everywhere, checking notes and checking up on me. I mean, wow, what audacity. Who on earth gave you authority? Goodbye, abstract. Hello, concrete. Goodbye, cruel world. Cheerio. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no. Song these big questions, it's unlikely, but I'll have a go. You're not there, did we make you up? Can we ease through this without you, please? Goodbye, abstract. Hello, concrete. Goodbye, cruel world. Cheerio, I mean, wow. There you go.
That's the song I really want to do a cover to.
Yeah, you should.
Like
You're
I was
welcome to.
singing it along with you. I love it so
Oh,
much.
thank you. Yes, I was quite pleased. The original recording, if you go to my YouTube channel, that I've posted a bunch of old IEP songs, and Mary sings it. She has an amazing voice, but it's also extremely high, so I had to kind of change all the keys. But she's a sort of wisp of a woman with a squeaky. It's a very high voice, but it's an amazing. She's got brilliant voice. She's a great guitar player. I'd check her out. I'd recommend her. So that's pretty much all the old tunes. Should we sort of take a quick break and have a chat about stuff, and then I can play some new tunes?
Of course. Absolutely. You know
Cool.
I can't stop talking anyway. What would you like to talk about? Well, you know, Katrina did win the jam session too.
She did.
She did.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what she's going
What's
to do
the?
though.
What was her answer anyway? I never heard what her.
Simon because she said dang.
Dang.
Oh, she just said,
Winning.
"Damn," there it was.
Yeah. And that was it. Yep.
Well, I guess Ninja Cat, because there was a little black cat that jumped out on a kid in the GIF.
Yeah, I just love that gif actually. It brings me a lot of joy.
My favorite one is the one with the, if you type in hey, why or whatever, there's like a guy on, like, dark guy on skates, and he's just like rolling by. It's hilarious. It makes me laugh every single time.
I think my favorite one is the Shaq kitten one. Have y'all seen it?
I don't think
Where they're
so.
both doing a little wiggle.
Oh yeah.
It's so
I didn't
cute.
realise that was Shaq.
Like I never thought in a million years I'd be like, hey, Shaq's kind of cute, but he's cute with a kitten.
I'm just going to put my heater on because I'm freezing.
Shaq, like the basketball player Shaq? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to find it and send it to you on the back channel because it's hilarious.
Do you want to? We could talk about songwriting, or we can talk about the various musical projects, or we can talk about our current projects, or talk about anything else.
Oh, we could talk about how you're going to be an awesome expert panelist in the music education class coming up.
Yeah, that'd be
so
fun.
That's crazy exciting.
Yeah, that was great. That last session that we did, that was very. I learned a lot from the other two guys, Abel and Scotty. That was good fun. They're way above my level. You know, I'm a bit of a dabbler when it comes to that kind of stuff, but they really know their onions, which was fantastic.
It was great to just sit back and listen to y'all vibe off one another. You know.
Yeah, it was nice.
Fluid and beautiful.
Yeah, it was a good session. I really enjoyed it. I think music technology. The sort of the engineering side is just such a mystery to me. So I've just picked up a few things on the way, hanging out with people much more knowledgeable than me. A guy called Joe Watson is a very good friend of mine, and he used to do all the engineering for my material, and he mixed the last imitation electric piano record called "Blow It Up, Burn It Down, Kick It Till It Bleeds." So yeah, he has a wonderful accumulated knowledge. So yeah, we're going to do a music theory and songwriting panel next week.
The bare bones basic music theory. I don't want to scare people.
Yeah, it's a difficult subject to keep simple, because you very quickly get into sort of things like harmony and chords and melody and rhythm and all the kind of crispy bits. I mean, I know what you mean. It's difficult to say to people why it's important and where to start. You know, if you've got absolutely no conception of how music is put together on a technical level or a theoretical level, it's it can be very confusing. You know, people tend to get a bit sort of muddled and they zone out. But I think, speaking for myself, obviously, I find that knowing these things is really more about shortcutting choices rather than dictating a pathway forward, if that makes any sense. So you know,
Absolutely, yeah,
yeah. I mean,
definitely.
I don't think people. I think people tend to worry that it kind of stifles experimentation and creativity. I don't think it does.
Oh
It
no,
just
I think
makes
it just
makes
opens
yeah,
doors.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. It makes things
You know.
go faster. You know, you don't have to if you can sort of if you can, you know, it's like a set pieces in chess. You know where where the pathways will follow, and it's yeah, it's just a shortcut to getting work done quickly.
Oh, it's gonna be a great panel.
Yeah.
Darius one is gonna be there. He's a good buddy of ours. And then Scotty, of course. I
Mm.
can't, I can't imagine doing that space without Scotty. He's gonna nerd out in like cosmic proportions. I can't wait to hear it.
It'd be great. I'm really
Yep.
looking forward to it.
And then you and Darius and myself, for some reason, we're gonna do the songwriting panel the week after.
Yes, that'd
Hmm.
be great fun. Looking forward to that. I'm gonna play. Maybe I'm gonna play another another tune, and this is it's a folk tune. I have to get my ear in, I'm afraid. Da, 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 da. It's nearly there. Dee da 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 da. Dee da da da. Yeah, here we are. I once loved. So this is a song called "The False Bride," or "I Once Loved a Lass." I think Anne Briggs did a version of it, and I think Bert Jansch did a version of it, and I think Rory McCall might have done a version of it. It's a song about a man who, it's implied, goes away to sea and comes back and finds that his betrothed is getting married to another man, and he stalks her. It's a sort of stalker tune. On the surface it sounds quite romantic, that he's kind of lost his great love and he's distraught, but actually when you scratch underneath the surface, it emerges that he's a stalker, and it's kind of quite sinister, the underlying theme. And that's what I really love about kind of folk music, traditional music from the British Isles, from over the last kind of 100 to 300 years. The depth of storytelling is really great, and these songs, people deride British folk music as being all kind of Morris men and mugs of foaming ale and dancing around and hey nonny nonny, but actually it's kind of, as a tradition, it's really rich and dark and deep and fun. So I'm going to sing a song called "The False Bride," and it goes a bit like this. Maybe I can do it without the obnoxious 80s chorus. I once loved a lass, and I loved her so well that I hated all others of her who spake ill. And now she's rewarded me well for my love, for she's gone to be wed to another. I saw my love to the church go, with bride and bridesmaiden she made a fine show. And I followed her on with a heart full of woe, for she's gone to be wed to another. I saw my love sit down to dine, and I'm beside her and I poured out her wine. and I drank to the lassie who should have been mine, for she's gone to be wed to another. The men in the forest, they ask it of me, how many strawberries grow in the salt sea? And I answer them back with a tear in my eye, how many ships sail in the forest? Oh, dig it me a hole and dig it say deep, and cover me over with flowers so sweet, and I'll lay me down for to take a long sleep, for maybe just then I'll forget her. Sinister. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that really was.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's a great line. There's a great line in the fourth verse, which is it's really mysterious. Which is one thing that really I love about folk music. It's got these vestiges of old language which don't really make any sense anymore, and they kind of allude to the way that people used to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the line is, the men in the forest, they ask it of me, how many strawberries grow in the salt sea? And I answer them back with a tear in my eye, how many ships sail in the forest? It's a very strange image, you know, how many strawberries grow in the sea, you know, and then he asks
that's
them,
beautiful.
how many ships sail in the forest? This is the idea that, you know, that the plenty more fish in the sea, and that's what I think of it, you know. They're encouraging him to have not gone away to sea and to have stayed, and he wouldn't have left. His betrothed wouldn't have left him anyway. But mysterious, kind of odd image inside a song that's kind of quite lyrically conventional. It's just a story. You know, I followed my girlfriend to the church, and then I followed my ex-girlfriend to the reception, and got drunk and embarrassed her. You know, and then threatened suicide in the end. But in the middle of that is a very strange kind of lyric, which I really love about English folk music. Yeah.
I love folk music too. I think my favorite folk artist of the moment is Bon Iver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll play another one. So
Gotcha.
This is I'm going to play the opposite of that song. It's called a token ballad. And a token ballad is the reverse, where usually a man and a woman, the man goes off to sea for 7 years. That's the convention is it goes off to sea, and they promise to be faithful and true to each other forever and ever, and as a symbol of their kind of faithfulness, they share a token. That's why it's called a token ballad. It could be a lock of hair, or a coin, or a ring, or a cameo, or something like that. And then when the token is reunited, two halves are back together, and then the story ends and they are reunited and they are in love. But the amusing things about these kinds of stories, these kinds of songs, is that they share some quite interesting characteristics. That, well, the premise of the story only works if they can't recognize each other. Well, she can't recognize him, so she's so madly in love with him that she couldn't possibly think about leaving him, even though she thinks he's drowned in the sea and will never come back. So her faithfulness is her chastity is completely pure, but she can't remember what he looks like. So he turns up and sort of, you know, he tests her, but it makes absolutely zero sense.
And you wrote this one?
No, this is an old. This song is from 1725. I think the earliest recorded
Holy moly.
mention of it. So this is about 300 years old. So.
After this song, will you speak a minute about your writing process?
Yeah,
Because
sure,
it's
absolutely.
very, very interesting and unique.
Thank you. Yeah, I will do. As I roved out one evening fair, I spied a sound. Oh, I've screwed it up already. Let's try it again. As I rode out one evening fair, it being the summertime, to take the air, I spied a sailor and a lady gay, and I stopped to listen, and I stopped to listen to see what they would say. He said, fair lady, why do you roam? For the day is done and the night is on. She heaved a sigh and the tears did roll. For my dark-eyed sailor, for my dark-eyed sailor, so young and stout and bold. 'Tis 7 long years since he left this land. The ring he pulled from his lily-white hand, one half the ring is still here with me, but the others rolling, but the others rolling at the bottom of the sea. He said you may drive him out of your mind, some other young man you'll surely find. Love turns aside and soon cold has grown, like a winter's morning, like a winter's morning, the seas are white with snow. She said, I will never forsake my dear, although we're parted oh many a year. Genteel he was, and no rake like you, to induce a maiden, to induce a maiden, and slide the jacket blue. One half of the ring did young William show. She ran distracted in tears and woe, saying, William, William, I have with my dark-eyed sailor, for my dark-eyed sailor has proved his honour long. Now there is a house by yonder lea, this couple's married and does agree, so maids be loyal when your love's at sea. For a cloudy morning, for a cloudy morning brings in a sunny day.
That was beautiful.
Very pretty.
It's a nice song, isn't it? It's some good lines in it.
Yeah, and the way you sing it is just so delicate but with gravity. I love it. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much for saying that. There's a couple of schools of thought. One, the Shirley Collins school of thought is that the story is really important, and to not to be too emotional, and then there's everybody else. So I'm sort of halfway between Shirley Collins and everybody else. So you wanted to talk about the writing process? I'd be
Yeah, I was
delighted.
when we did our writing session together. I mean, I have never run into someone who writes quite like you do. So if you could maybe speak about that a little bit, it's very fascinating.
Uh, yeah, I'd be happy to. I I tend to I'll fish around for ideas. Like a little nugget of language will pop up, and it'll catch like it'll snag in my mind. And like I mean, wow, for example, is a good example. I heard that phrase. I mean, wow, I just thought, wow, what a great sort of 3 words. And so the song. You pin the song on that, but I'll tend to write a story in long form. So there's a story, as a song I wrote called A Tokenist Ballad, which is my version of a token ballad. And so I wrote a story about a man and a woman in like you would write any kind of short story. So not lyrics at all. That's really important to state at this stage. So I'll describe them as people. I'll describe the scenario, where they live, what they do, and then whittle that down and sort of distill it constantly, and then then try and pull out bits of the lyric, the story that are more lyrical. Some words just don't work, and it's just a question of condensing and condensing and condensing what could so often be like 400 or 500 words down into 4 stanzas, four lyrics. It's a very inefficient process. That's the only downside. It takes a really long time, but
I don't think it's
super.
inefficient. I mean, look what you've created. Those are timeless.
Yeah. Well, that's very. Yes, thank you. I mean, if I don't think Bernie Taupin and Elton John write quite so laboriously, but it works. It's a method, and it works for me. And then it's like making a sauce. You condense it and condense it and condense it until you kind of end up with the sort of the essence of the story. But it's not poetry. That's another thing to work out. I used to, when I tried to write lyrics when I was younger, I tried to write poetry, and it was awful because I don't know how to write poetry, and I'm not.
It's a completely different discipline, right? And people don't realize that.
Yeah, it's completely different. So that's my process, and then Sam and I wrote a song together, and it was
I still have the copy of the story we wrote that you mailed to me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it's also quite useful. The method is quite useful when you're talking to somebody else, when you're co-writing lyrics or co-writing a song. It's just to sort of tell me the story. Tell me all about the scenario, about the characters. It's not all songs have got that, but undergirding of like a character and a story and so on. But I think for me that's the easiest way for me to write songs. Is to
my method is so different. I think was Johnny still here? Johnny can attest to this. I'll just get an idea, and then I feel like I probably look like the animal Muppet, on the drums, sitting on the couch just writing like a mad woman because I have to get it out.
Yeah,
that is true, but I never see it because I'm always looking at my.
Yeah, he'll be producing and he'll be playing it, and I'll get an idea, and that's just how it happens.
So that's one method, and another method I have used to varying degrees of success is to take conversations that I've had with people and then extract bits of the conversation into lyrics. So this is a song I wrote called Idaho Sisters, and I was having a conversation with somebody who had quite an unpleasant early life and a bad backstory. So she was telling me all about that story, and at the same time we were discussing where we both lived, and she lived in Las Vegas, and I lived in Istanbul, still do, and so contrasting those two places came up with some nice imagery. And then she was talking about having a need for a sense of sanctuary and place. So this is a song about sanctuary, and it's called Idaho Sisters. And this is going to probably go very badly wrong, but we'll see. It's quite a difficult one to pull off. I'm getting some funny noise. Let's try that again. I love the rain. It's cold and it's clear. Here the streets are all the same. It must be beautiful where you are. Go back to the island where the farm is home, the seething desert's gone. We'll start planting some trees. We'll make goat's milk soap with honey from bees we keep. Americana, go back to your shelter. Americana, go back to your shelter. We'll build a Cobb-style house from things left lying around on our 5 acres. On our 5 acres. To the island where the farm is home, the seething desert's gone. We'll plant some trees. We'll make goat's milk soap with honey from bees we keep. Americana, go back to your shelter. Americana, we got back to our shelter. Yeah, that's that. That's the tune. Is there anybody there?
Bravo.
I couldn't undo my mic for some reason. I had to click it like 5 times. But yeah, that was gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm gonna maybe I've got one more in me. I think I've got maybe one more in my computer. So, oops, shit. Let's try another one. One more, and then we're gonna call it a night. Because I think these people want to go to bed.
What, are you still interested in doing the Spaces after party where people can come and you know? Okay.
Absolutely. The curse of them. Here we are. This is a song about my wife and son. I've been gone from Gin Lane for a long while. We made a deal. We drift back there again. Bayou girl, now it's all on hold. I could teach again, and you'd work at the paper. We could start over, and things would just be better. Now it's all on hold. one by one, our stamping grounds have gone, one by one, all torn and fallen down, one by one, like we were never there. But there was always you. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what I'd do. Me, no me, there'd be no me. He, no he, there wouldn't be he. We three, we'd cease to be. Yay.
Thank you for sharing your music.
Thank you for listening to my music.
Oh,
Thank you. That's it.
Woo-woo.
That's all the songs. I've run out of dopamine now. That's all I got. Thank you. Sam, are we going to sort of cut off to Twitter Space for a question and answer session?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun if you're up for it. You know.
I'm certainly up for it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me, and I'm glad that we did this.
Yeah, I am too. And what a beautiful way to end such a gorgeous showcase. I love that track. It was beautiful.
Just to point out that that's from the new album that I'm writing with my best friend Nat. Okay. All right. See you on the other side.
Okay. Yeah, we will see y'all in just a minute. To everyone who came and listened, thank you so much. And we will see you guys over on those Twitter streets.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.